Yo, what's up, big homies? We have a special guest in the building today, Miss Karen, baby. Though we have her on here, man, and it was almost a spur of the moment. I was doing a whole bunch of podcasts earlier, and then we had just a quick conversation. I just out of the blue said, "Hey, yo, you want to do a podcast?" And ecstatically, she said, "Bet." You know what I mean? So we got her on today. And we're gonna be just kind of reminiscing about old shit and getting into all kind of stuff, man. So stay tuned and look out. So we both know each other from high school, long time ago. I'm 28 now. You were in the same grade, I believe, right? So you're
Yes,
around 28.
I'm 28 as well.
28 right now. All right. And then we had a few, actually, I think it was like a few classes together, not just one. It was like multiple years. We probably had a few classes here and there together. One
Hmm.
of the times that I want to get at, because I haven't talked about it. Oh, no, you know what? You know what? I'm not sure if I did talk about it, but we were in a class, I think it was English class, right? And you remember, I don't know if you went out with him or not,
Uh-huh.
but you remember he was like just a small dude.
Albert.
Albert, right? Yeah. And so
Yeah.
we're all sitting in class, and I don't know what happened, but I think he had like a panic attack or something. He was like kind of
Hmm.
freaking out and everything.
Yeah.
And that's one of the stories I tell a lot of people. Because like, bro, I never seen somebody have a panic attack to that severity. And I was like, bro, he literally dropped out of his desk. Like it was crazy.
Exactly. And I actually still talk to him. I keep
Do you?
in touch with Albert. Yeah, I check in on him every now and again. He's doing
Has he gotten any
great.
taller?
I mean,
All right. So
that's
that's a
like
no.
a
Anyways.
that's a perspective question. Because if I wear
Yeah.
heels, then no. But if I don't wear heels, I'm like, whoa, did you get taller? So.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was Albert sat on the far end of the room, and there was like this way, and then there was desk like this, and I was right here, and then like I think you were like right here somewhere, like towards the
Exactly.
right of me,
I
and that
think
was
I
crazy too.
I was always on the right of you or right behind you. It was super weird. It would never be anywhere else. It was always on the right or right
Yeah,
behind you.
yeah.
Strange.
You know what? And I think I used to. Did y'all date or no?
No, we did not date.
Okay,
We
because
were
I knew
really
Albert.
close though.
All right, so a woman says close, but I used to talk to Albert back then, and
Uh-huh.
I'm real fuzzy back then about like what certain things happen because obviously everybody is. Time goes on,
Right.
memories start to kind of fade to a little bit lower perspective.
It's tough.
So, but I used to remember talking to Albert, and I think he had a crush on you, man. Has he ever told you about that?
Yeah. We
Yee!
we talked about it, yeah. And actually we were getting so close that I think like our initial interactions were because he was interested, me being who I am and completely oblivious, um,
Well,
didn't
most
quite catch up.
most I think most girls are because and yes, I have a wife now, right? And if you
Right.
are listening, I swear to God, yo, this is old shit. And this means nothing, bro. Like if you're, she's gonna talk to me later about the shit. But anyways,
Mm.
so you remember Danny Martinez,
Yes.
Danielle
Yeah.
Martinez, right? Fire, right? I mean,
Mhm.
not fire. She was so ugly. Anyways, I had a crush on her, right? And I had a few classes with her, and it just kind of built up. And
Yeah.
the last time I remember her, now she's actually pretty successful now. I think she became a doctor or something like that.
She's a nurse, I think, yeah.
Nurse or doctor? Yeah,
Or
she went.
a
She went
doctor,
to the.
something like that.
Yeah, I seen something with I don't know if nurses were. Anyway, some she was wearing a white coat or something. She had a little thing. I think it was a doctor thing. I don't know. But anyways, I used to. Man, I wasn't like Albert, right? Albert was a very set back, kind of keep his things to himself. he was a really
Mhm.
funny guy though. Like we used to crack jokes all the time, and then
Yeah.
he would kind of get to his little stage where he was kind of I don't even know what the word for it is, man. He just let other people's words kind of affect him, and that would kind of shut him down a little bit.
Mhm.
Me, on the other hand, I wouldn't give two shits. I just kind of keep talking shit back. I don't think I've stopped talking shit because even at work, I'm still talking shit. And I remember back in school, I was still talking shit then, man. But yeah, so I had a few classes with her, man, and I used to always shoot my shot, whether I got shot down or not, with her, man. Because I think it was me, her, um, what's the other guy's name, man? It was in a math class or something like that. He's got like curly-ish hair. I can't even remember now. Oh, he's dating no, that's not him. Yeah, it is. Jacqueline. Remember Jacqueline Gonzalez?
The one that would always go, "Oh boy." Her?
I think so. Yeah, 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 yeah. Very,
Yeah.
very short,
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
short, pale, like very pale skin,
Yes.
fair skin.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
her, I think they're married now. If I'm not mistaken, I think they've been together since high school or some shit like that. But he was in that class, and then yeah, man, I got an old picture, a very old picture of me and him playing. I think it was our last day of school.
Yeah.
We were playing chess or some shit like that, and then you could just see me like going like this, and then he's over there just looking like weirdo and shit, just kind of watching me play. And it was just one of those odd memories, man. I don't really remember too much because you remember Dido.
Yes.
Yeah, he changed his name tag that we used to wear in school. So he made his last name Dill, or his first name Dill. So it was Dildo. It was funny
Dildo.
as shit. I said that on a podcast as well. Yeah, man, he was my best buddy, man, over there. So we used to skip school all the time, like around lunchtime
I
when they used to
remember.
allow seniors and stuff to kind of go eat lunch outside. We were
Mhm.
like freshmen and juniors, and we just say fuck it, and we'll go all the way to Garden Lakes and just like smoke a few bowls and then come right back and
Yep.
go right to school.
I
Yeah.
remember.
So after high school, what'd you end up doing?
I tried college, and I say
Mm,
that very, I guess,
don't we all?
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, me too.
honestly, like, who knows exactly what they're going to study unless your parents give you some sort of guidance or idea of like, hey,
Hmm.
go here and do this.
Oh yeah.
I started in a nursing program, and then I realized I don't really want to be here that much. So then I went to general studies and psychology, and I decided let me stop wasting money and just,
Yeah.
go
Money
out.
and time.
Exactly. It was just
Hmm.
it was pointless classes.
Yeah.
So I started in customer service. I did the whole restaurant gigs and whatnot, which was essentially in the beginning it was good money because I mean,
Yeah.
what kind of server bartender doesn't make good money on a daily
Yeah.
basis and stuff?
Upfront profits. Yeah.
Right, but it was too many, it was too much time. That was just it. Then I got into a relationship and we
Mm,
both worked at a call center, or we went from one job to the call center.
yeah.
And uh it's a franchise that I actually work for now.
Hmm.
Um, I stayed there for a really long time. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I started at the call center, then I got promoted to corporate, and then when COVID hit, it was just kind of like a
Yeah.
step
So you
back
pretty
kind of
much
thing.
been at that same company like almost this entire time after
Yeah,
college.
it took like
Kinda.
kind of, yeah, it took a year. I took a year off after just
Yeah.
because, the whole COVID thing and whatnot. My position
Hmm.
wasn't as needed as before. But I'm back with them now. I actually just started back as the training content manager
Yeah.
at ALTN. Yeah.
That's
So
that's pretty awesome, man. That is way unlike my story, bro. My shit went like this. I'm talking about high, very highs to very lows, man, and it was fucking insane.
I mean, I believe it. Mine, it just I guess because I'm one of those people, or what I've noticed is I'm one of those people that doesn't stay very still very for a very long
Hmm.
time.
Yeah.
So even when I wasn't doing anything, I was doing everything. Like I started choreographing quinceañeras since I was
Hmm.
15. I'm still
Yay,
I'm still
quinceañeras.
doing that. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm still doing that with my mother. Um,
Hmm.
it's kind of like it started out just kind of like as a weekend thing. Like we would
Yeah,
just
kind of
have
playing around
fun
with it.
dancing. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, Now we're actually being sought out.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
like
Booked up and
times where
stuff.
we have like 3 to 5 quinceañeras a year, and that's not
Yeah.
like it's
Well,
consistent.
I'll tell you what, Hispanics are the one people you want to be associated with anything birthday wise, because when they have birthdays, it's either everything or nothing. That's the way
Mhm.
it goes, man. Especially when you talk about
Exactly.
quinceañeras, man.
Oh
It could be
yes.
like the lowest place of all. What's that one place in Rome that everybody has their quinceañeras at? Right there off the gas station to the right.
The Civic
Like
Center?
yeah, I think that's what it is. You like if I like I'm in Cartersville right now, right?
Right.
So if I go to Rome, I take 411 all
Right.
the way. Right before Walmart, I take that right, and I go down that road. I guess it's called the bypass.
Yeah.
And there's
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
that gas station with a Subway in it.
Oh, Los Compadres.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's
Yeah.
over there. Because anytime somebody's like, "Yo, come to this quinceañera or come to this party or come to this wedding venue," da da da, they be
Yes.
like, they say that same name, and I'm like, "All right, I got you in about like 35 minutes." That's usually how long it takes me to get there. I've been there so many times, man. Yeah, it's
Yes.
crazy. You know, when I grew up, man, I didn't have. Now, I didn't know if you knew. There was a lot of people in school that always knew that I was some part Hispanic. Didn't know what it was, right? Just because of my skin.
Mhm.
Like now, I've kind of faded out a little bit, man. I got the lights kind of helping me kind of glow up a little
Uh-huh.
bit. But
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
high school, I was actually darker than I was now.
Mhm.
And somebody, Edgar Sanchez,
Yes.
remember him?
I remember
He
him.
would always say something, man, left and right. I think what's the name? Manny Guzman, Manuel Guzman or something like that. I don't know. There's a few people.
Yes.
Yeah, there's always a few people in high school that would always be like, "Dude, you're like, yo, bro, you're Mexican, dog. This and that and third." And I was like, "I don't
Mhm.
know, man. I mean, I can draw and shit. I mean, I can do this, I can do that. I like Mexican food, whatever. I guess we're all Mexican, dog. Everybody loves Mexican food."
Everybody loves
But,
beans. We had this joke. I don't even remember who it was with. I'm pretty sure
mhm,
I want to say it was Ashley
I
or
remember her.
maybe I can't
I
even
think I remember.
remember.
Yeah.
But it was someone, and we'd be like, "Well, if he likes beans, he's Mexican." Like it's
See,
just
my
an
thing is
ongoing
drunken
thing.
beans, man. If you give me some drunken beans, man, I'm there to stay for the entire party, dog. Give me like 3 bowls of that thing. We straight. I want some
Right.
rice in it though, man. I want some rice. But yeah, man, I used to get that all the time, man. And then I think it wasn't until no. My mom told me like when I was 11 or something. But when
Mhm.
you're a kid, bro, you forget that shit. You don't really remember. Yo, you have a real dad. I had like 3 other dads. I had stepdads and shit. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. There's another dad, whatever. It didn't really like start hitting to me until I was like 17. I was like, damn, bro, I do got a dad. And I started talking to him. I found him and
Yeah.
everything. That was like pretty much
Wait,
sophomore year.
I didn't know you found him.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I don't know if you remember this because it was a very brief time, but I left school sophomore year, second semester. It was literally the middle of the year. I left. I went with my mother, and I went to North Springs Charter School in Atlanta,
Mhm.
and I spent a semester there. In that semester, I was trying to find him. Ended up, I didn't find him. Actually, my mom knew that I was trying to look for him, and she was like, "Hey, dude, stop
Yeah.
being fucking weird." I went ahead and sent him a letter. If they call, they call. If they don't, they don't. Whatever. And I think it was like Christmas or Christmas Eve. Man, he called me. Man, I was bawling like a baby too. I was like, "Oh shit,
Oh
Papa."
my god.
Yeah, shit was insane, man. And ever since then, we've been connected. We talk all the time. I didn't. I went and seen him when I was. It was after. No, no, no. Yeah, it was after I had my daughter. Like she was probably like a year old or something. I drove like 17 hours down there because I was working in car sales at the time,
Yeah.
and it was actually a really good job, man. I was making like over 100 grand a year, and it was perfect. But I didn't have my daughter at the time, so that's the
Mhm.
only reason why it was perfect. It wasn't until after I got my daughter full time and custody changed, and now she's been with me for like the past 5 years. So it's just
Yeah.
been me and her pretty much. But
That's
anyways, yeah.
amazing.
So 22, man. I was like, man, I was so I don't even know what you call it. I was just so sprung out of just working like 15, 17-hour days, 6 days a week, trying to sell car. Yeah, car sales
Oh,
is you got to be in the grind for it.
I believe
So
it.
I was yeah, so I was tired, man, and I told my boss, I said, "Bro, look, man, either I'm gonna quit or you're gonna give me like a 5 day vacation, and I'm gonna head out to Texas." So I mean, either way, I'm gone. So which one you want to do? He's like, "Hey, man, go take your time, man." I was like, "All right, cool. You want to give me a vehicle? No, man, you got to take your car." All right, then I just wanted to make sure, see if I can get something else out of it.
Yeah.
But then,
Like
yeah, I
you
drove
just
all the way
wanted to.
down there.
The worst thing they could do is say no.
Oh yeah, yeah, bet,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you're gonna say yes? Oh, let me take one of them Yukon Denali's out there, man. I'll be looking fresh out there in Texas, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I ended up driving like 17 hours straight, and I just got off the clock at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So 10 o'clock at night, I drove 17 hours there, and I was there like midday or something like
Mhm.
that, later than midday that day. So it was just crazy, man. But yeah, I've had nothing but a lot of downfalls. But
Mhm.
when the highs were highs, oh my god, it felt so good being up there,
Yeah.
man.
No, I actually I can I guess I could follow that and probably
Yeah,
land somewhere the same because honestly a quick view like of where I am now versus where I was back then it's like a completely different like I look the same physically because
yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
them good Target
You don't.
jeans.
Yeah, you don't look like you like the same weight, everything. Like you don't look like you've missed a beat since high school. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm telling you I got them good jeans.
Yeah, mine are
Um
bad. If you see my real dad, be like, bro, you got like 2 more years and you're done.
no.
No more video podcast or nothing, bro. You're done. Like put a screen up.
Done. Just, let me just no.
Hmm.
The thing was because before I actually got into like a corporate job or even working in a
Yeah,
corporate setting, my parents they got divorced.
yeah,
So dad ended up like leaving to California. Uh, he got married, has two beautiful children now, which
yeah.
I'm, trying to be
With a
close to
with
as
a
best
with a
I
new
can.
wife.
For the
Is
new
that what you're
wife,
saying?
yeah,
With a new wife. Ooh,
yeah,
stepmama or
stepmom,
not
yeah.
stepmama?
No,
Stepmama. Okay.
she's a stepmom. She's good.
Okay.
She's
Sometimes it's like, yeah. I mean, he's there, but he ain't my stepdaddy and shit. You know what
no,
I mean?
she's wonderful. She's a
Yeah.
brilliant woman for sure, and she's very very sweet. So
Yeah.
lucky him to have found her. Um, but yeah, I can definitely, I guess, similarities there as far as like the highs were super high, but the
Yeah.
lows were like, why am I here kind of thing. You know what I mean? So.
You are now listening to Sports Plus Life with your host, Big Trav. Stay tuned. Do you have any kids right now or no?
No.
Ooh, hey, keep it that way until you absolutely are sure, man. I'm almost, I heard this one podcast and I can't remember who I was listening to. But anyways, Steve-O, right, from Jackass? So he has his own podcast now. It's called Wild Ride, and it's hilarious. Like he has some of the greatest people on there, and he's like just straightforward, funny as hell.
Yeah.
But he's not having any kids. Obviously, he doesn't need to or want to, anyways. But he was like, man, men need to go ahead and get snipped at a very young age, so that they don't have kids at all. And then when they are ready, they have to legally go get unsnipped in order to have a kid when they're with somebody. And it made total sense. Now, I don't know as far as the severity of how, like, that's like the last limit to go, but
Mhm.
it makes sense, man. So, yeah, man, that's good that you don't have any kids, though, man, because I have Mia right now, which she just turned 7, but just having her with her first mother, my first wife, and it's
Mhm.
almost crazy to say because I'm 28 years old and I've already had one wife and ex-wife,
Yeah.
and then all that shit happened, which that's a long dark road to go down, which I'm gonna do it on a podcast one of these days. It's just gonna take me a minute to kind of
To
rehash those
get
memories
there.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly,
Hmm.
the only reason I think that I don't have kids right now, it's like I have more my family, they're prone
Hmm.
to a very like
Disease.
endometriosis, all this
Oh
other
yeah, yeah,
stuff
yeah,
and issues
yeah.
like nonstop. So, um I suppose as far as that goes, I
Endometriosis is the one that the thing goes on the
it's
egg or
like
uterus or the walls or some shit like
to
that, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
make it more, I guess, PG, it's just
yeah.
it's just
Oh,
stuff that
oh,
attaches on the inside and then it just
my shit's
bleh.
explicit, dog. Because I mean, I already know. Because like, dude, I've been a
Yeah.
cusser since high school, dude. It's
Yeah,
never
I
gonna change.
remember. Yeah.
Oh, dude, there was not a word out of my mouth that wasn't
It
something.
it was hilarious.
Yeah, unless a teacher
Um
came by, but I think I still kind of
you would
slipped up
still
some words.
say it. It would just be like under your breath or you'd be like
Bitch.
the thing is the thing is you would say something and then you'd be like, "Oh shit, fuck." Like
I'd say it twice.
that doesn't make it better. Like you just walk.
Yo, you know what's so funny though? It's like, dude, like I have my personal memories right in
Yeah.
my head, and most of it's accurate for what I say.
Yeah.
You know, there might be some things that are kind of hashy, so I just kind of like, all right, this might be how it went, but you
Yeah.
know, it's like 90% of it's pretty true. And then, you know, I might talk to somebody else and they're like, dude, you were like this in high school, or you were like this, or, you know, I even got a couple stories with me and Di that I'm like, dude, this is how it went. And Di's like, dude, no, it was way worse than that. I'm like, and yeah, dude, I was in high school, I was very out there, man. And the the reason why I'm so sketchy right now is because I knew the type of boy I was back then,
Yeah.
and it puts a lot of fear into me that my daughter is going to seek out that certain type of boy because I was, and I don't, you probably don't even know the full extent, but I was really wild back then, dude. Like I went to do you remember they used to call her Dirt. Remember her? She's, I mean, she was a pretty girl. She was on like the softball team or something like that. I can't remember her name, but she had a sister as well. They were kind of like one off from each other, like as far as the
I
year.
think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was kind of slightly brownish red hair,
Yes.
really country, wore
Yes.
boots. All right, so
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So her
Uh
sister was like the blonde one.
yep.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
who you're
All right,
talking
so
about.
I ended up meeting one of them there for like homecoming or some shit, and you know I
Yeah.
was kind of whatever. And then I seen her doing something, so I went over there and I hung out with her sister during that homecoming, and it was like making out with her. It was crazy. I was just didn't give a fuck back then.
Well, to be completely honest, and I
Hmm.
guess because just because somebody expresses their perspective or opinion
Hmm.
doesn't make it fact or
Yeah,
anything like that. Because I'm a full believer in that. But
yeah, yeah.
at least to me, you were always quite a decent human. Like regardless of whether you would have been a boy, girl, whatever the hell.
A fucking human, dude. At least I'm not a fucking
Right.
alien or a fucking gargoyle out here, dude. You
Right,
know?
just morphing into whatever it is that you wanted to do. But I know at least from my perspective, you were
Yeah,
always a very fairly decent human. Like if
yeah.
it was like uh, there were specific people that just did not belong, should not belong in the same classroom as other people. But at least from my perspective, it was
Yeah.
always what got me, I guess, as far as our friendship goes, because I
Hmm.
would have still considered it that was the fact that you were super honest all of the time.
Oh
Like
yeah, dude.
it
Oh, you
was,
should hear
it
me
was,
now.
there was no shit anywhere.
Oh
Like
no.
it
If I
was
told you something, it
cool.
was yo.
Yeah, like
You know
there
what's
was
so funny? Because I hate to cut you off, but I want to
no, you're
mention
fine.
this right before you get back. What's so funny right now is I tell everybody, dude. I'm talking about, bro. I told my wife before we got into anything. I tell anybody, yo, I'm gonna tell my daughter the honest truth. I don't care if it hurts because the biggest thing is I have my mother. You know,
Hmm.
she's a great mom now. She had a lot of complications then, but she used to lie to me about certain things.
Yeah.
Um, and then it came to a point where she was like, "Look, I'm not gonna lie to you no more. You're coming into a grown ass man. I'm gonna tell you the truth no matter what happens."
Hmm.
And then we just kind of flip flop until it was like, boom, honesty all the way. And I always said, dude, no matter what, I'm not gonna, because I was growing up so fast because I had to take care of my sister.
Right.
I was like, dude, I would rather just know the truth because I would have just have to figure it out. So now I don't want my daughter to have to deal with the stress of trying to figure things out. I'd rather just be like, yo, this is what happened to your mother.
Hmm.
This is what happened here. This is who this is, or this is why we're not doing this. Yo, we got money
Yeah.
issues right now. the check wasn't that big. We can't really do nothing. We're just gonna kind of chill and do what we need to do. If we get another big paycheck, we'll go on our daddy daughter date or do whatever. Boom, there it is. And she's like, all right,
Yeah,
cool. And she understands that it's better to understand when you're being told the truth and being honest. And
exactly.
that's what I figured out early. And that's so you know,
No, and it ties in like
yeah,
perfectly because then you're not only giving her the truth to work with, you're giving
yeah,
her a chance to understand it fully. Give
mm-hmm,
her like it gives her a little more knowledge into stuff that doesn't really matter to her or she's not as interested in. At least she
yeah,
can reconnect back to it when she gets
yeah,
those
and
questions up in her head, you know what
understand
I
a little
mean?
bit later. Yeah,
Yeah, so no, but yeah, like that and that was the thing. I think that because you were so honest, I was like, yeah, he's good. Like it was
mm-hmm,
one of those things because and I'm sure as you remember, I used to talk to everybody
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
because
I
I
think the
like to
way I
talk.
seen you is you would always talk to everybody, but there was a limit to the what you would like do something with certain
Mhm.
like you almost had a conservative
Yeah.
aspect to yourself to where you would talk to everybody and you'd be very gracious, very sweet and everything, but you're like, hey, bitch, this is where I am, dog. Don't fucking cross that line, motherfucker. And I feel like I
Yeah.
always cross every fucking line and just
It
fucking
was I feel but the thing was it was slightly different because there was people or at least within the school that were boys because at the
yeah.
time it was boys and girls. I don't give a
Hmm.
crap who says what. It's boys and girls. There's no women and
Yeah.
men in there at all.
Oh no, never.
Um but as far as that went, when there was other boys that would try and test those boundaries, it was
Hmm.
always in the most like I don't even
Gruesome
know.
way, kind of.
Yes, it was it was
You
like
remember when this happened when I think it was around I think like freshman and sophomore years when this thing was happening, but you would get one person that would like move the back of the other person's neck and then they would like spit. You ever seen that shit? That was in Rome High School. It was crazy. It
no.
was almost like they were jacking the dude's neck off and shit, and he would like how you spit through your tongue and shit, like the little
Yeah.
thing. They would do that. You remember?
No, but it's okay. So it was slightly different because remember I got to Rome High School my junior year. My
Was it
freshman and
junior?
sophomore year, I was at Kusa, and they were doing
Oh,
that. They were
okay,
completely
okay.
doing that the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
entire
Oh,
time.
that's right. Because I had you junior senior. I think
Yeah,
that's right. Why did I think you were there sooner? I don't
it's
know.
because
Anyways,
it was good conversations. You and I would always have really good conversations.
hmm,
They were either like about the material and how shitty we thought it was,
yeah, yeah.
or like something had happened, or one of
Why
us
the
had
fuck are we
heard
learning this shit
something.
right now?
Yeah, like yeah, like I don't understand how I'm gonna use this in the future. I think you and
Yeah.
I were those people that would
Hmm.
literally come up with scenarios, and
Hmm.
the fact that the teachers would overhear us like doing that
Yeah.
kind of
What was that?
pushed them
What
away.
that one lady? I think she was so nice, but I was so a fuckhead in that class. The English class that we had together.
Miss Smith,
Yeah, that's right. She had the black hair, right? Was it
yes,
the dark black hair?
yes, mhm.
It was like, dude, you dye that shit. I know you do now because I see some motherfuckers now. It's like, bro, you dye that shit, dog. You better go to your natural hair color.
Don't like go back to that natural hug. I can't say a word like you can
No,
like
yeah,
full
that's
blown black and
definitely
then blonde right there. So
yeah. You definitely had solid black hair back in high school,
oh
dog.
yeah, that no, that hair was super heavy. I
You know
mean
what's
coming
funny though?
what?
Every Hispanic girl in high school had the same exact hair. It did not matter, dude. Like you know, black girls, right? They would all be like different kinds or different hair or whatever.
Mhm.
But every Hispanic girl in there was literally, Joe. If you didn't have straight black hair, dude, yo, you ain't in. Like, yo, get kicked to
Well,
the
but
curb. Like,
but that was the thing. Like it's an actual cultural thing, and
is it?
I didn't quite like get it in the beginning. But
Understand it?
mom
Yeah.
used to always be like, take care of your hair, brush it,
Hmm.
make sure you braid it, this and that. Don't color it, don't do anything. Like it was this whole thing, and then come to notice, it's because like the
Isn't it a
whole
spiritual thing?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
apparently your
I think I heard something
hair
like that.
keeps you nice and pure and all this other stuff. And I was like, where are they getting all this from? But it's apparently tied into culture. That's why a lot of Filipinos actually have it that way.
Yeah.
And like
Filipinos have
most,
some nice hair, dude. It's like nice thick
yes.
strands, bro.
And
It don't mean nothing.
exactly. Filipinos are basically Mexicans.
Oh, easily.
That's what one
Yeah.
of our friends used to say because I mean, Spaniards went over there and then they came
Mm-hmm.
to Mexico. And
With
then,
Asians and shit, and they
yeah,
just.
so
Mm-hmm.
like even now, because I'm part of the Filipino Association in Atlanta,
Yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
not by accident, like I knew
So, are
what I
you
was
part
joining.
Filipino, or
No,
you just joined it?
no, I just joined it because
Okay, shit, bet.
one of my friends, coworkers, she
Yeah.
was one of the leaders there. So they have this ball thing like every
Mm-hmm.
December and you donate for the cause and for whatever the case may be and it's like
Yeah.
assistance for them. It's very very specific into helping like Filipino people. So
Yeah.
within like Atlanta. So it was something that like it just it felt really really good to be a part of like something like
Yeah.
that. So the fact that I joined it when I would go to her parties or her daughter's
Mm-hmm.
parties or just, random events, they'd come up to me like speaking Tagalog, like expecting me to, and I'm like, oh wow, like you really think that I look Filipino. It's not like it's just a
Yeah, you
thing.
you
Like,
you do have a little bit of Filipino in you. The only thing that you don't have is the height, bro. Because they're like fucking Amazon people, bro. Some of them, like the women, get very tall, bro.
I know, I know. It just,
this
we're not
this like
talking about it.
the lady off of Tiger Belly. I don't know if you know Bobby Lee. He's a comedian and he has a podcast with his girl. Can't remember her name now, but anyway, she's Filipinian or whatever, and
Yeah.
he always makes like the funniest jokes about it because they're both like, I guess, Asian. I guess you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So he's Korean and she's Filipinian or whatever, Filipino, and he would, man, if you go watch this shit on YouTube, it's hilarious. Like they openly talk shit about each other,
Yeah.
and he'll be like, "Hey man, yeah, you're from the Mud Rivers, huh? You
The
from the Mud
mud
Rivers?"
runners.
I'm like, "Yo, whoa!" I was like, "Bro, you went too far with that shit, dog." But they all start laughing, so I guess it's accepted, man. So I was like laughing
I
my ass off
mean,
about that. Yeah, that shit's
yeah.
hilarious. Let me ask you one thing. So, because I have been, because now my son that I just
Hmm.
had, right now,
Which congratulations.
I appreciate that, man. He's a fucking handsome champion. Matter of fact, since we're on this, I'll go ahead and look it up while I'm talking. So he is pretty much full blown Mexican. I'm half, she's full.
Yeah.
He's Mexican, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And which is going to be kind of hard for Mia because she has Mexican gene in her,
Yeah.
but she's pasty. So I'm trying to make sure that she still knows that root, even though I know she's going to be more in that wider society. It's just the way it's going to be, just
Hmm.
because that's just kind of how it is, man. And
I
nothing's,
mean,
and she,
I think as long as you keep her aware of the culture that she's like in with,
yeah,
then
yeah,
she should be okay. Like it should be a priority for her. Maybe not now this instant, but within the
yeah,
next few years for her to learn Spanish and
yeah.
to
So
get
yeah,
some of that in
I've been
there.
teaching her some words here because I'm not elusive to the language.
It's a whole
Different
different
history there.
dynamic. And then
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
growing up in like a Hispanic household, more specifically, look at
yeah.
him.
He's getting chunky,
He's
boy.
the best. Oh my god, congratulations.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
She makes sure
that's
he stays
one bomb
pretty dressed.
baby. I love that.
Oh, dude, and guess how? He's only 4 months. He's that chunky. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He got
That's
his
good
genes after me,
though.
man. Not no more.
Alright.
Maybe back in high school, but no, 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 no. He's gonna hate it when he gets about 28 years old.
No, but
But yeah,
yeah, it's
that's one
like
of the kind of shitty things.
exactly. It's one of those dynamics that I guess you get used to. Like coming
Mm-hmm.
from a Hispanic household is one thing. From a Mexican
Yeah.
household, you're right away. It's more like this. You want to please your parents, like nonstop.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You want to be the one to be like, no,
Mhm.
I've got it, and things of
Yeah.
that sort. So when you see, like, not specifically in my family because and I'll be honest with you, I grew up in a house full of love for me. Like my mom
Yeah,
was my best friend. It was my go-to. Like I don't.
yeah, yeah.
None of
Which
that ever
everyone,
happened.
everybody's different. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
In
like
each society, in each
when
family.
exactly. But when I had a few friends that like, you'd come into the house and like they would say things and yell at them in a specific
Hmm.
way that I would just be like, I don't really know where this is coming from and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like I could see that a lot of that dynamic it's because of the fact that and once again it's perspective all that it
Hmm.
is, at least on my
Yeah,
end.
I think with me and my mother, the main parts that came from it was her really always going back to the same dude that used to treat her wrong, and that used to piss me
Mm,
off. So I used to take it out on her when really she just needs somebody there to kind of be like, "Yo, you don't need to do this shit." But really, I was like, obviously I was a kid, so I was crying, don't do this shit. You're fucking leaving us, da 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 da, da, all
mhm,
that kind of stuff. So, I think that came from, and that was kind of like some hatred. Which I did have a stepmom that was Hispanic, my adopted father's wife, and he would, or no, she would kind of teach me and
mhm.
take me to Quinceañeras, and I mean, she was that, uh,
Yeah.
what do you call it? That she was the one that would
She was
clean
that
houses.
Mexican influence on you?
Well, influence, but I was gonna say another word. But she was the one that would clean houses and shit, and
Yeah.
do all that kind of stuff, lawyers' houses. But I used to go with her, and she would kind of teach me. And I don't know if he told her or she just knew. I never
Yeah.
figured that out. But she would be like, "Yo, yeah, you're Mexican. Da 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 da. You need to do this." And she would teach me Spanish a little bit. And then I took 2 years of high school, and then I do my little Duolingo thing every once in a while just to kind of try to keep up enough to my
Yeah.
standard, because I'm not talking to people fluently like that every day. Everybody talks English, so I don't really have that
It's like
pure, consistent
and it's
conversation.
also like with especially with languages just in general, if you're not consistently like talking to
Like,
someone in
yeah,
that language
practicing,
or
talking, yeah.
hearing it, like it doesn't click. Like
That's why a lot of Hispanic families nowadays, like when you come home, y'all are talking Spanish. Like you're not talking
yeah,
English in the household. Usually, you're not talking English in the household, dude. You're gonna keep up and stay fluent. And even
exactly.
my wife, I don't know if you know her or not. Or you remember Izzy Reyes?
Yes.
It's her cousin, Mariela Escudia.
Maria.
You're actually friends with her on Instagram, I think. Which is
I'm
funny
friends
because
with
like
a
when you
lot of
sent,
people.
because when you first friend requested, I was like, the picture, nothing didn't show up, and I thought it was like a fake, like how most people, it's like
Account.
you get this,
Yeah.
you get this like porn fucking account or some shit, and it's like sex thing or
Oh
whatever.
my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
get that on
so
Facebook now,
consistent now. I
and
got
what's
that
so
on
funny is,
Snapchat and
yeah,
TikTok.
so I did the whole Facebook thing for this podcast, and I add friends of friends, like mutuals,
Yeah,
right, just to make sure I knew it. I was like, I'm gonna try to keep away from this shit. And
yeah.
then all of a sudden I'd be add because it's trying to do it for business, right? So I'm not
Right,
scanning this shit. I'm just like, yo, let's go, boom, 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 add them everything up, because the more people, the more likely they're gonna listen to it.
right.
And I'll get like 3 or 4 messages a day. Hey, Poppy, you wanna watch my shit? Suck my titties? I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, yo, X, dog.
No, no thanks, no thanks.
Yeah, dude, and it's insane. So that's what I thought it was, and I was like, man, I'm blocking this shit right now. And then I remember like the first part. It said Anna Karen or whatever. I was like, why does
Yeah.
that fucking sound familiar? I said, hold up, unblock, did it? And then finally the thing came up. I said, oh shit, bro, that's her, dog. All right,
It's
cool, bet,
me.
add it up. Yeah, that shit's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
No,
I found
that is
I
just
found
insane.
myself looking at, and I don't. It's not like it's mainly just out of curiosity, man, because I really don't, and it's no offense to anybody. I try to stay in my lane. I try to kind of focus on like this. I try to focus on this and kind of progress it, make something
Right.
out of it. It was with anything, man. Kind of like how you are. You can't stay still. That's how I am with any
Yeah.
type of business
That
aspirations. Like I
Mexican
have
in
to
you.
fucking continue to go and start it. And if I do it, I'm putting
Yep.
fucking every dollar. And I'm, even if I go
Mhm.
broke or for them 2 weeks or what, dude, I'm like boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
And yeah, man, that's just how that is, dude. And yeah, so I don't know, man.
No, I
It's just
mean, no,
fuck
that
it.
makes sense. It's like,
Yeah.
and honestly, it's like one of those things, especially now. Social media takes such a huge part in everything. You can't
Yes.
market to the right people if you're not on specific sites and
Well, that's why
specific
most
things.
most companies, they're not commercializing on TV anymore. They're like, dude,
Yeah,
instead of me paying $250,000 to put this on for 2 weeks on the TV and air it for twice an episode or whatever it is, why don't I just pay this influencer $1,000, 1,500, just for him to say something to his million of
exactly.
fans, and then I do that a couple times? You're way under budget for what you need, anyways.
Yeah, no,
Like
and
it
it
just makes
makes
sense.
sense. Like even with promoting, Will stuff or attempting to. Like I said, I'm
Well,
learning
yeah.
and
So
all of that,
so I
but
want you to go ahead and promote him now, because I have been, I wouldn't say I'm blowing up, you know what I mean? But hey, guys, you've been listening to me and Anna talking all kind of shit, man, reminiscing and everything like that. Make sure you go check out part 2. This is going to be a 2-part interview reminiscing over the old times, man. Make sure go look at it, and thanks for listening. What's good, baby? Thanks for listening. Make sure you go like, subscribe, and follow my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything like that, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and click the link. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow up. Check out the next podcast coming up. Make sure y'all check in every day, every week. You never know when we're gonna post a new one. Yo, thanks for listening to Sports Plus Life. Your host, Big Trav. Appreciate everything. Make sure y'all go follow, like, subscribe on whatever website y'all are on right now. Leave some love, leave some comments. Stay tuned to the next one. Thanks for listening.